Thanks, Hexy. Welcome back to the desert, the rough area of the desert, to Tunisia, Algeria. All right, it's late. I just finished up the last turn in January of 1943, and we're getting ready to move into February. I could have waited till tomorrow to shoot this, but I don't want to forget some of the interesting stuff that happened on this turn. So, I'll give you the reason why I wanted to shoot this video now because previously to this, I think the month of January, the whole month had, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 turns. All right, I guess they're like half weeks. So 9 turns in January, and 5 of them were mud turns. So you do a simulcast type phases, and you don't get to move anything or do any air combat or anything like that. You can do air transport, sea transport, railroad transport, and change unit mode, refit aircraft, stuff like that. Okay, so the last turn of January is when two things happen on 29 February. Well, 29 January, sorry. Actually, for the Germans, theirs starts a couple turns before, but let me walk this around here. So here's the southern edge of the map, enter area E. So this is where DAC is leaving the east and coming back towards Tunisia. And 8th Army is hot on his tail, all right? So these sets of units right here, along with 21st Panzer, which you see sitting right there on that road, okay? They've all come in over the last couple turns. On this last turn, on the 29th, most of these Italians come in and some of these Germans. So I decided I need to occupy those hedgehogs is about where this line right here is sitting, because 8th Army is going to start showing up here eventually. But now you'll notice this Tripoli box over here. The base is in Tripoli. Look at all that British air power. Now, they have to use that as their base until March 1st, but they can still support operations across the whole map. So I immediately went after fighter sweeps on that German airfield and was successful. Okay. Then I realized, did I really need to do that? Yeah, because I wanted to destroy something, and I did. All right, so a few more turns before you see 8th Army show up down here. Plus the Brits will start, or the Allies start getting supplies down here too. So it's going to get really interesting. So we're going to start building that defense there. They got maybe a few turns to do it, okay? 21st Panzer, though, they're headed on to make their attacks, much like Kasserine and all that stuff that happened. So they're starting that operation, so to speak. At least in my mind, they are. So I decided up here, I had some units that were in trouble for both the Axis and the Allies. Well, the Axis did their thing, and they were successful at extracting some units in here. And they formed a little line right there. Well, when they did that, same time, I had some allies in this area that were in trouble and needed to be extracted. Not only that, 2nd Army headquarters got destroyed here in Makhtour by 10th Panzer. How I let that happen, I can't even explain. I don't know what I was thinking, because I didn't foresee a major movement. It's fun how this stuff happens, and the fact that your vehicles can move so far on these roads as long as they're supplied. So you've got 1st Army spread out, or 1st Armored here, 1st Armored here. The Allies' units are scattered. Well, so are the Germans, except for 21st Panzer. They're pretty much all together moving on that road. Then I moved in some reinforcements for the Allies. Let me find one here, in case any of y'all play this game. If you get a unit like this that has a bunch of dashes up top, they can't cross the Algerian border. They have to stay in Algeria. They are Army Reserve stuff, and they have 3 nice tank battalions that can't cross the border. Fortunately for me, they didn't. Some are sitting here at this airfield, or right here. One's sitting up top here, which you can't see him, but he's sitting over here. So they're not going anywhere. The other ones are sitting down there at an airfield. So, and I'll show you that in a second. There's really nothing going on down there other than, like I say, 2nd Army headquarters got captured or destroyed, which I'll have to reconstitute that. Unfortunately for the Allies, they didn't roll anything worth of nickel on their variable reinforcements. Matter of fact, they got nothing. Where the Germans rolled a 12 and got everything. So it was a good turn for the Germans. Now, so let's talk about these attacks. So the Germans did in here. The Germans did down here. They took the headquarters for 2nd Army. They attacked up here on the coast with Witzig's engineers, and they did a great job. You can still see they're sitting there. So the Allies turned. They had to attack back. Got a force in here to surround, well, to get on 3 sides of this unit, because there was a guy here trapped in this mountainous terrain. We had Allied units to stack underneath this low marker right here. It's only 1 unit, actually, that's low. They were trapped over in here, and I needed to get them out to supply, all right? Matter of fact, they were sitting right here. And then, in order to get them out, I had to attack in here. And I wanted to attack the 2 Panzer division or battalions that rolled up this road right here. And we're going to start to cut off these units, okay? All right. This tack worked at a severe penalty. 2 units lost out of these 2 stacks. But the Panzers took the option to retreat. So I guess you could say they were successful. Only problem is no casualties there, at least, as far as counter strength goes. All right. In here, the first attack on the German unit that was sitting in here, sitting in here, failed something terrible and cost the Brits 2 infantry brigades. An infantry brigade and 2 French battalions. All right. The attack up here, epic fail, cost the Brits a brigade of infantry and a French, I think it was a French bicycle unit, or a French reconnaissance unit. So in all of this, the Germans didn't lose nothing but a parachute battalion and 2 Italian units. 1 was an armor unit. So from those 3 attacks, there's the casualties right there. And that's a lot in this game when you only do 3 attacks and you're getting things like AL1. The damn Allies rolled 2 AL2s. They rolled a snake eyes on one of these things. However, with that being said, they were still able, because this unit here, his attack was the only one that was super on this, where this depot is right here. They got an AE2. Everybody in there was a 3 or better. So when exploit came up, they moved in here to attack this unit here, and they did. Well, from where they were, they moved into here. Then they attacked this unit here, and this unit was it was an option, but he couldn't go nowhere. So he ended up getting lost, and these guys ended up having to well, put it this way, they got out. That's all I can say. They had optional, but they were able to get out, but they lost some stuff too. So successful or not, I don't know, but they were able. Oh, I know what it was. I'm sorry. So they moved over to here to attack the unit that was sitting here. And when they did, they ended up having to retreat out. So they had the option to retreat out, so they did. But they got extracted. Now, they blew this dump here. They managed to blow 1 point or 1 T out of here. So the Germans will probably take that. So the Germans aren't real thick up in here either. And I don't know, I've just now flipped the reinforcement card over. So it's going to start getting interesting because, the standard Allied victory is take these 2 ports over here of Bizerte and Tunis. 8th Army is going to be coming on soon down in the south, and they'll start their drive towards the north. But in the meantime, the Germans can win a serious victory by taking a whole bunch of towns. There's like 5. I think there's like 6 of them. If they take all 6 of them or hold all 6 of them at the end of the game, it's a major decisive victory for them. But the Allies really only have to take these 2 to win. And other than that, they can take 1 and get like a minor victory. Anything other than that's a draw, unless the Germans occupy all these other things. So, but it's going to, like I say, it's going to start getting interesting now because I'm really, during the mud turns, I was able to build up a butt ton of supply, but a lot of that supply just got burned up in these Allied attacks. Plus, you're flying air and rebuilding aircraft. Now, but I think where the game is going to change almost instantly is air power shifting, all right? Because of the Desert Air Force coming in down there now in Tripoli, and God forbid, once March 1st gets here and they can actually start basing on the map, I think that's going to change the flow of this game for the Allies, which I assume later in 43 it did anyhow. So, all right, Rommel's on the move. Il Duce's back, still in Rome. And the Italians are doing the best they can here. The French are doing the best they can here. French have actually two decent mobile force. Well, not mobile. One mobile force and one foot force that are actually they're not too bad. They're probably the prestige of what they've got here, and they've got two more coming on. They're just infantry units. It's pretty much all they got. So, Americans, they've got 3rd Infantry, 9th Infantry left to come on. The rest of 34th still needs to come on. 1 unit from 1st Armor, 1 unit from 1st Infantry. The Brits have a bunch of stuff. New Zealanders, the Australians, 1st, 50th, and 56th, the 51st and 4th Infantry Division, 1st Armored. 6th Armored's already on. They still got some use need to show up. And then you've got the Indians, the 4th Indian Regiment, or Division, needs to come on. So, and still a bunch of aircraft. But yeah, that's where we stand right now. So that's Tunisia. We just finished up. So we played 3 months, and we've got 4 months to go, or 3 months and maybe a week or two. All right, let's keep rolling. Let's get this posted so y'all can see what's going on in Tunisia. Talk to y'all soon. OCS.